Hey, my name's Lauren Little, and I'm doing my speech on human trafficking on the Gulf Coast. And these are my mom and all my neighbors. Human trafficking is something that we hear about every once in a while and might not think much about it. Living on the beautiful Gulf Coast, it is one of the things that we don't think could happen to us or a member of our family. Unfortunately, just like many other places in the world, the Gulf Coast is a target for human trafficking. May 8th, my mom was invited by one of her friends to go to a community meeting and fundraiser on human trafficking in Navarre. When she came home, she talked about the impact of human trafficking in our area and told me that there was going to be a safe house built in our area for women that will act as rehabilitation for these victims. It was extremely alarming that the community I lived in was a place where my family, friends, or I could be affected by something that seems so distant. After researching this topic and realizing the severity of human trafficking is getting worse, it is important that we are all informed on the impact it could have on our own lives. Local news channels like WEAR have reported on a few cases on human trafficking in Northwest Florida. They stated, quote, "Experts will tell you it is hard to really know the numbers because so many cases are hidden. Some of those are hidden right here in Northwest Florida," unquote. There are so many different human trafficking testimonies of girls coming from either challenging backgrounds or a family that might be living right next door. Nobody is ever guaranteed safety from trafficking. There is a woman from Pensacola named Shauna Newell that was tricked into human trafficking in 2006 at age 17, just 2 days before earning her GED. Newell was, quote, betrayed by a friend, Jana, a girl she met at night school, a girl she thought was trustworthy, unquote. She went over to her friend Jana's house, and that was only a few blocks from her own home, a neighborhood where she, quote, felt safe, unquote. Newell arrived at the house and saw 5 men there. She felt uncomfortable and ended up asking for a glass of water. She drank it, and it caused her to black out. For days, she would wake up constantly being raped and was given, quote, lethal amounts of cocaine, crystal meth, marijuana, and the date rape drug ecstasy, unquote. Fortunately, after 4 days, she was rescued in Perdido Key before officially being sold to a Texas man for $300,000. Newell spoke at the meeting my mom attended and continues to bring awareness to human trafficking today. There is a more recent human trafficking case that WEAR reported on February 2016. They called the girl Sarah to hide her identity and was in a military family, well off, and had everything she could have ever wanted. She became rebellious at age 16 and was kicked out of her own home. She felt trapped and ended up living with multiple men over a few years. She sold her body, was beaten up mentally and physically until she was saved by a foundation called To Rescue. Human trafficking can happen in so many different ways, no matter how you're dressed, how you act, or where you come from. But thankfully, human trafficking is slowly starting to be more recognized. Trump spoke on this topic last February, stating, quote, "Human trafficking is a dire problem both domestically and internationally. It is one that's made really a challenge," unquote. Knowing that this is a worldwide issue, I find it so exciting that our community wants to help stop human trafficking. The organization my mom went to support last month is called Refuge for Women. Refuge for Women Emerald Coast is reaching out trying to raise $100,000 and is looking for a location for a safe house locally. The organization has a 95% success rate from their 3-phase, 9-month track that includes healing, life skills, and employment, and optional aftercare/employment. Michelle Jones, the representative for Refuge for Women, expressed the severity of human trafficking, saying Florida is among the top 3 human trafficking states in the whole United States. Also, between 2007 and 2015, there were more than 24,000 human trafficking cases in the United States. This issue is not something that will be solved overnight, but implementing an awareness can hopefully reduce the number of cases. I hope this information will help you be alert to make sure you, your family, and friends are safe from human traffickers trying to ruin innocent lives.